Hi, in this Ebase Xi video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a basic workflow process using the Xi Business Process Manager. We'll create a workflow process for a help desk ticketing system. Users will be able to create new tickets resulting in a new task being assigned to a help desk support team. Depending on the action taken by the help desk, the request will take a specific route through the workflow process. This may result in the ticket being directed back to the requester or it being closed. First, we need to create a new workflow process. We'll call this demo_WF. Let's move our start and end nodes to the center of the canvas and create enough space in between them to add in all the required workflow steps. We know what the outline structure of the process will look like, so let's go and piece it all together. First, we add the initial requester task. This requires the use of an interactive activity, as it will have a user interface screen attached. Following this, there will be a decision point and then another interactive task for the help desk support team. We need one more decision node to handle the response from the help desk, and then a final automatic system task to manage all notifications before the process completes. Before we finish, we'll give the task some meaningful labels. With the workflow steps in place, we now need to join them up using connector lines. To do this, we select the connector type and choose which side of the task to attach it to. It is important to note that any lines that exit a decision node must have a label assigned so it can be uniquely referenced in the decision node's business logic. This will become clear later on in the tutorial. Once all the lines are in place and have names assigned, we can select the individual steps and apply some alignment formatting to tidy up the overall process. With the basic structure in place, we now need to configure each task and define the process attributes for where data will be stored when passed in and out of the workflow. So let's start with the process attributes. When our process completes, it will run a system task that sends an email notification. For this to happen, we need to provide access to an email resource via a pre-configured business view. Business views are effectively just a list of all resource types that the workflow can talk to. This could be a database, email, web service, XML, or any ad hoc custom developed resource. Let's attach the business view and import the email resource fields to create the first of our process attributes. We now need to create a few more process attributes for storing data. These will be manually created. The last stage is to configure the tasks and the two decision nodes. If we open the first interactive task, we will assign a pre-created interactive activity. This is the link between the workflow process and the associated form. We then need to map the data that is passed from the form to the associated process attribute in the workflow process. We'll use the Auto Map feature on the Mappings tab to help speed things up. We'll do the same for the Help Desk interactive task. We open the task configuration, attach the activity, and auto-map the fields. We also need to specify a different assignment type for the Help Desk task, as this is being managed by a team of Help Desk members rather than a single person. By specifying a label of Help Desk, the system will pass this value in a web service call when the task is reached, and will run the underlying business logic that manages the task assignment. This will ensure only Help Desk team members are able to pick up this task when they access their task list. Next, we need to assign an automatic system task to the final notification step. We access the task configuration and add the activity. If we open this activity, we can see it implements some basic business logic to send an email to the requester. Now that the tasks have been configured, we need to apply the business logic to the decision nodes following each of the interactive tasks. If we double-click on the decision node, we can access the configuration window. Here we can write our simple business logic to tell the workflow process what to do and which route to take next. Our first condition is based on information passed into the workflow process from the completion of the previous task, and depending on the value, we tell the workflow process to take one of the exiting connector lines, addressed by its unique label. We will apply a similar piece of conditional logic to the decision node following the help desk task. With everything in place, we click the Validate button to check that all process definitions are valid and correctly linked together. We can see that this process has passed validation, so we can now test the process before releasing it for use in our application. By clicking the play icon, we are presented with the process tester. From here we can step through each task as if the process was being run for real. All interactive and system tasks can be enacted and their associated business logic tested. A graphical representation of the process is displayed on the right, and each task is ticked off as it completes. The workflow process is now complete and ready for deployment. So let's finish this tutorial by clicking the button to release the process. Thank you for your time, and please visit the Ebase Resource Center to discover more about what Ebase Xi can do for you.